Hi guys, welcome back. Today's a big one, there's no time to waste. Essentially, I'm going to be running through Ping's entire iron roster for essentially 2020 and what they do against each other. Let's get stuck in. Today's video is going to be a good one. I've got 6 current Ping irons from Blueprint to iBlade, i210, i500, G410 and G710. I've got all 6 of them and I'm going to hit them in one shaft for 5 of them. The Blueprint, because of the size of the head, they couldn't give us an OptiFit one. So I've got that in a DG120, the rest I'm going to hit in a DG105, all in stiff. I'm going to swing it at about 82 miles an hour, so I'm not going to go at full pelt. I'm going to take it back a bit so that we can see what they're designed to do for that mid swing speed. And I'm going to give you a bit of spec on each of them, an idea of what they should be designed for and who they're really targeted at, and see which one comes out on top. Let's enjoy. So this is Ping's chart for all the irons I'm going to test today. We've got Blueprint right up to G710, and they've got a handicap attributed to each individual iron. This is the loft chart, so you see that there's a 5.5 degree variance between the most forgiving and the least forgiving. So that will reflect in the numbers, so we'll take that into account. But I'm going to start off with the Ping G710 and work my way down. So this chap here, this is the G710. This is the first one I'm going to test. This is Ping's most forgiving iron in their current lineup. It's got miraging steel in the face and it's got variable face thickness. That is a combination for distance and forgiveness. So let's see how it performs. So when you put the G710 down, you can see it is bigger than the rest of the Ping clubs on the market at the moment. But that black hydropearl finish really does neaten it down a bit. It does make it look a little bit smaller than it actually is. And the face where the grooves are, the miraging steel face, is actually a different colour, so it really helps you frame the ball at address. So now we're on G410. This has been their marquee iron for the last 18 months, you could say. A lot of face flex in this. There is actually hosel and toe weighting in this to increase MOI. If you can spread out the weight, you're going to get something that's just going to twist a bit less. This has probably been my biggest selling iron of 2020, and I don't think that is an over-exaggeration. Let's see how it stacks up. Now, when these first got launched, these were the irons I was most excited about in terms of TaylorMade's launches, Callaway's launch, Ping's launch. They looked amazing. They still do. They still stack up in terms of look, but swinging it at 82, 83 miles an hour in this test as I am, I'll show you the numbers at the end as always, but swinging it at that speed, this was probably, might be surprising, but this was probably my favourite to hit. The G710 was good. This was probably my favourite hit at that speed because I didn't have to put anything into it, and it performed. Now we're on to i500. This, in my opinion, is the nicest of the range. It's a hollow head design. I did a bit of the hollow head design player's distance iron test. Again, miraging steel like the G710. Sleek look. This minimal offset is a player's iron. It looks it, it feels it, and it performs it we've seen in the past. Let's see how it stacks up against the previous two. Now, if G410 was my nicest to hit at this speed, at any speed, it doesn't matter, this i500 is probably the nicest to look at from a cosmetic point of view. Blade appearance, blade performance, forgiving performance. This ticks all the boxes. That player's distance iron category has taken off and has gone from strength to strength. It's growing exponentially, and it's only going to keep growing when manufacturers like Ping, like Honma, like Cobra are bringing out clubs like they are. And at this speed, this club performed very, very well as well. Again, we'll show numbers at the end, but probably my second favourite. So as the clubs get smaller, we start talking less and less about technology and more about feel. A little bit of elastomer in the back here makes this feel as soft as it can. It is as soft an iron as you're going to feel. Really sleek look as well. Looking down on it, it doesn't look too dissimilar from the i500. A little bit more loft, but like I say, less technology, more feel, more spin. They start talking about grooves in the i210, where they've never really spoken about grooves in the other ones. This is more for that player who wants a little bit more control, a little bit more feel. Let's see how it stacks up performance-wise. So the Ping i210 is the iron choice of Lee Westwood. He has used these for a wee while now, and he is one of the best, undoubtedly one of the best ball strikers in the world, let alone on the European Tour. He is one of the best ball strikers ever to play the game, and this just fits a versatile. This is a versatile club, and it fits a large amount of golfers. And for it not being forged, it is the softest non-forged club you'll ever hit. So we now reach the iBlade. Again, this is very similar to the i210, a slightly more condensed version. It's got a little bit of toe weighting, where a little bit more than the S55 did anyway. This has that toe weighting just for CG placement, increased MOI in essentially a blade club. Very, very thin sole, very workable, and it has that same elastomer as the i210. Not a lot you can do with the blade technology-wise, as you'll see in the next one, but numbers, let's have a look and see how it stacks up. So now we reach the iBlade. Again, like the i210, not a forged construction, but a soft 431 carbon stainless steel with the elastomer behind the face makes it feel, again similar to the i210, as soft as you can get a cast club. And looks wise, again, scary good. Scary good for a blade. This has been out a while now. We don't know if there's going to be something new coming from Ping this year to replace iBlade or not, but I'm sure we'll see in the coming weeks and months. Ping Blueprint. This is the one that Louis Oosthuizen had a massive input in terms of design. Really, really narrow sole. It's forged, fully forged from 8620 carbon steel. And not one you want to thin on a cold Sunday morning in a team match. These look and feel as good as anything I've ever hit. Just thin. It's a proper professional, like pro player golf club, but one to have a shot of if you can get a chance. Let's see how it stacks up numbers wise against the other ones. So now we reach the final one, and we are on the Ping Blueprint. I'm begging myself here not to thin it. Yep. Amazingly, I hit all five nicely, but this is in the bag of both Louis Oosthuizen, who designed or had a part of designing it, and Tony Finau, the nicest man on tour. Tony Finau has these in his bag. Looks wise, you can't really say much against it. It's a phenomenal look, and I like that even in the Blueprint they've still managed to keep that Ping signature white line on the bottom groove. Let's have a look and see how the numbers stack up against each other on all the clubs we've hit today. So definitely a lot of fun shooting that video and editing it together. Pretty much finished now, but to kind of round up at the end of it, I'm swinging all of these clubs between 80 and 83 miles an hour. I wanted to give it a kind of a test at a more appropriate swing speed. You very seldom see someone coming in for a fitting who's swinging it at 93 miles an hour. Much more often you're seeing them swing between 80 and 85. I had that DG 105 in everything except the Blueprint, which was a DG 120 because it's a bonded head, because the head's too small to give us an adjustable one. So numbers wise, let's put them up on the screen. The numbers wise, if I'm looking at all those numbers in a fitting, then there's three there that I eliminate, and there's three there I want to look at a little bit further. I want to look at the G410, the i500, and the i210 a little bit more based on the ball speed and the carry distance and spin rate. The reason I don't want to look at the other ones, the landing angle just eliminates the G710. It's just a little bit flat coming in at 39 degrees. The spin and ball speed eliminate the two bladed models because you can see what you're gaining out of the other ones. I don't want to drop down to 105.9 when I can get 108 consistently out of the i500. The i210's kept in because the spin is not obscenely high. Spin's only 6.2 on the i210, that's much more manageable. The choice of them, this would be a lot more down to the fitter, the player. The player would choose one of the irons or choose a couple of the irons to look at a little bit further based on what they want out of a new set of irons. If they wanted distance, I'd be looking at the G410 and the i500. If they wanted pure spin, pure control, I'd look at a lot closer at the i210. There's a big jump in terms of ball speed, so it's not like you can... I certainly, for this in this instance, I probably wouldn't look at a blended set for this. This would be purely just one set, and that would be continuous throughout. But yeah, that's where the conversation should be between the fitter and the player as to what they're looking for. If you're not being asked what you want out of a new set of irons, then it's not the fitting for you. But that's where we are. The best three stand out: the G410, the i5, and the i210 for me at that speed, and I quite liked it at that speed. I had a lot of control, certainly a lot more control than I normally do. But listen, guys, this was fun. Thanks for joining this one. As always, like, comment, any ideas are good ideas. Most importantly, share and subscribe. See you next time.